Well, the weekend has come to an end, but we do not end things here whatsoever. So, as you know, Stardom are almost close to the conclusion of their annual tournament, the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. So, basically, this is where, of course, certain wrestlers are already out, but we will see who will progress furthermore. But we will get to that at a later time. And also, New Japan continues with Tag League. So, that's going to be very interesting to follow. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing the much recent events from Yoshi Promotion Marigold, featuring day 2 and day 3 from their wonderful Winter Wonderful Night events. So that's going to be very interesting, but some of these matches are also prelims for upcoming events with title matches on the way. And of course, just to make things very interesting, there'll be no news updates on this particular episode whatsoever. So we're going to keep this just straight up reviews. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics, such as, of course, the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. Well, we don't have updates for today, but we do news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it, of course, on the next episode or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. It's time to ride into the sunset. So, let's begin with day 2 of Marigold's Winter Wonderful Night. Okay, Marigold's Winter Wonderful Night. This is day 2, and this took place on the 23rd of November, and I believe it's in Utsunomiya, something like that. I hope I pronounced it right. If not, there we go. So, not much as a change at all. Of course, we have Chika Goto doing a little lowdown and give information to the fans what's going on for this particular day. Yes, she's still out for a while due to the injury she had, but she'll be back soon, hopefully. Now let's just begin with our very first match. Our first match, we have a three-way. We have Komomo Minami versus Rhea Seto versus Misa Matsui. Now, I don't know much about this match, how this was going to be. However, but at some part of this match, I did not see Misa Matsui towards the end, like trying to stop for a win. No, I don't know. A part of me likes to think that maybe she wasn't up for this because she's up for the much bigger matches or so. But this match ended with, of course, Komomo pinning Seto, and just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have Yuki Minami taking on Nao Ishikawa. Now, some of you may suspect that since the very beginning when Marigold started, now Ishikawa will probably lose this match because that's what she. I mean, look, she's not Waka, okay, guys? Let's put that on the record, please. She's different. But however, she was able to pick up a very fantastic win when she applied a suplex. Now, I may say it sounds like it's an easy match. I mean, she hasn't picked up the much bigger win that she deserves. I mean, a win is a win, but not the biggest or the greatest. But she'll get there. But she applied a suplex in order to do that. So she picks up a win. Our next match, we have Hummingbird and our current Superfly champion, Natsumi Shozuki, taking on Naoya Yamada and Miku Anu. Now, nothing too significant about this match, but however, we do know that Miku Anu and Shozuki did have like a somewhat of alliance or what, but they, of course, Shozuki did challenge her for the white belt, but came up short. But nonetheless, this match in it with Shozuki applying a crucifix onto Yamada, and just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have Bozilla, Chiaki, Nagisa Nozaki versus Mila Grace and our current Twin Star Tag Champions, Mai Sakurai and Mirai. Now, of course, you will all think because you see Bozilla, Chiaki, and Nozaki, they are teaming up and they are the heels of the group. But at some point when you thought this match was won, because Mila had this match won right there, the ref was pulled. Of course it was going to happen. And then, of course, Chiaki out of nowhere pulls out a chair, use it in her advantage, and allowing for Chiaki to pick up the one on Mila. However, it's no secret because we have the tag champions involved. It appears that Chiaki and Nozaki have their sights set on the Twin Star Tag Team belts. So far, no one has challenged them just yet, but it seems that they are now stepping up to the plate. I wouldn't be surprised if their next big event or somewhere down the line, they will be challenging for those belts. But we will wait and see until it is finalized. Now, our next match, we have the young future of Marigold, of course, Kizuna Tanaka and Victoria Yuzuki taking on Kyuki Amari and Utami Ayashida. Now, as you all know, Kyuki and Utami are currently tag teaming, and don't forget, Kyuki is the current GHC Women's Champion, so nothing has changed towards that, but anything could change from here on out. Nothing. I mean, we have seen how Kizuna and Yuzuki, they have been a very cohesive team. They have been very impressive, despite of their coming up short in their bigger matches. But they've shown what they can ability do. But however, it was Kyuki with a twisty frog splash that allowed her to pick up the win. So nothing more. That's how this whole thing ends right there with day 2 of the Winter Wonderful Night. So let's jump in right now with day 3 of it as well. Okay, day 3 of the Marigold's Winter Wonderful Night. And this one is back in Tokyo at this new place I never heard of called the Tobu Friend Hall. It's a very different venue type. Looks more like you're in a theater type or so. Of course, it looks real good, you know. I mean, yeah, it's a little different. But anyway, let's get started. Our first match. Our first match, we have Kimomo Minami taking on Reo Seto. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that Reo Seto wanted this match due to the fact that she lost to Kimomo on the previous time. So it would make sense. It's more like, how do I say, righting a wrong that should have been right. But that's exactly what this match was about. But some of you would think, people would think, of course, lightning will strike twice. But not this time. It was, of course, Rhea Seta who picked up the win by a pinfall, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match, we have a bit of a three-way match. We have Mala Grace versus Hummingbird versus now Ishikawa. Now, anything is predictable in this type of match, regardless. Now, we have seen Mala Grace has been picking up some good wins. Hummingbird, well, we're getting to know her just a little bit, and of course, now Ishikawa, who's picking up her momentum as she goes. So the obvious question is, how will this land up? I don't know. But however, it was Ishikawa who picked up the win with a suplex onto Mila Grace, and just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have, of course, Kizuna Tanaka and Victoria Yuzuki taking on now Yamada and Natsumi Shozuki. Now, of course, those who know this or not, Victoria Yuzuki has challenged uh, Shozuki for the Superfly belt and lost. So it wouldn't be surprising that this match could lead up to that in some capacity. You would think so, but however, it was of course Yuzuki with a suplex onto Yamada that allowed him to pick the win. So as I thought of it by watching this match, of course, Victoria Yuzuki made her decision to go after the Superfly belt. I mean, yes, I mean, I would suggest they would have continued with the tag team belts, but no. Basically, shows Victor Yuzuki decided to go for the Superfly belt, so it's only a matter of time until that happens. Now, our next match, we have our current tag champions, Mai Sakurai and Mirai, taking on Mitsa Matsui and Miku Anu. Now, those who don't know this or not, Mai Sakurai issued a challenge to, of course, Miku for the white belt itself. So basically, that kind of lets out in every way possible. So you can think this is a prelim. So, but however, we have seen Miku Anu and Misa Matsui. They can get along and they don't at some capacity. But it was Sakurai with the STF onto Misa, and just like that, it was over. And of course, Anu sent a direct message in the post match towards Sakurai. I don't know what they said, but I'm sure she's going to teach her lesson, telling her that she's not taking this belt off of her. I mean, we have seen Sakurai has grown significantly. I mean, from Stardom all the way to now to Marigold. So that is something we will pay attention to. Our next match, we have Chiaki, Nagisa Nozaki, and Bozilla taking on Yuki Minami, Kyuki Omori, and Utami Ayashida. Now, this is a tough challenge because don't forget the bigger threat here is Bozella. Big, strong, and powerful. Now, we know that Utami Ayashida has dealt with wrestlers like that before in the past. But the one person who decided to deal with it was none other than Yuki Minami. Now, Minami may not have the longest, has the shortest experience so far in the ring, but she had a lot of heart to try to take her on. I'm sure Bozella was thinking that, oh, she doesn't stand a chance, but it was a sit down power bomb that put her away. And just like that, it was completely over. So we'll see what happens down the line with Marigold. But from here, let's move on with our next review, and that is, of course, Stardom. Okay, Stardom, we are continuing with more of Goddesses of Stardom Tag League, and we're almost to the finish line, folks. So a lot of things could happen before then. Now, this took place just recently. We are now in day 15. Our first match was, in fact, a non title match. Well, non tournament. We have Matoi Hamabe. She teams up with God's Eyes Rana Yagami, taking on Peach Rock, Momo Kogo, and Mayu Iwatani. Now, nothing too significant of this, but when you look at this match, you would think the comment link is, of course, Matoi, who is, in fact, the least experienced wrestler who would most likely take the pin. That's exactly what happened because, of course, it was Maya who was able to pick that win up. So just like that, it was over. Now let's jump into a match from the Blue Goddesses. We have none other than Rian and Waka Tsukiyama, EXV, taking on Sakura Daman, Cosmic Angel members Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori. Now, this is a very interesting match in some capacity. Now, those who know the history, Yuna and Waka know each other way too well before they both ever joined Stardom. Those who don't know this or not, Waka made appearances in Choco Pro long time ago, long before she, back in 2021, I believe, because that's when she made her debut. But it was Yuna who invited her over to Choco Pro. But that kind of is the history. But however, the one history we have forgotten is Aya Sakura and Waka Tsukiyama. Now remember, Waka was intending to have her side with her, but Sakura, on the other hand, finds her annoying. So I don't know what exactly she did wrong because she was training her herself. But of course, she was not. I don't think she was too happy that she joined the Cosmic Angels, which she did. So the one thing that I can tell you on this match, it was a bit of more like Sakura finally gets a little bit of redemption from her previous losses towards Waka before she ever joined the Cosmic Angels. And that's exactly what happened. It was Sakura who picked up the win when she applied, of course, a modified triangle lancer. And just like that, it was over. You can say it's bittersweet for her that she finally get her win against her former teacher, just like that. But nonetheless, even though they do not progress, it's good for them to pick up the win, but they end up with 2 points, while Waka and Ryan just 4. Now, our next match is also a non tournament match. We have Rina versus Meisera versus Natsupoi. Now, some of you would probably say, how would this play out? I don't know. I mean, Rina, we know she is hate. She would definitely try to cheat her way through. Meisera and Natsupoi are two of the high decorated high speedsters, so anything could go wrong. But it was Natsupoi who picked up the pinfall on Rina, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match, we have, of course, part of the tournament, the Red Goddesses. We have High Mate, Hanako, and Maika taking on Cosmic Angels, Sayaka Kurara, and Tam Nakano. So, of course, it's no history that both Tam and Maika have dealt with each other in the past. But nonetheless, this would be another opportunity for Kurara, in my opinion, to try to pick up another good win. We know she had three in total in her career, but the two recent ones with Kashima and Ruka has been one of the most explosive ones for her. But unfortunately, Kurara ended up on the wrong side of the JP coaster by Hanako. Yeah, it's the same JP coaster that Himika gave to Hanako, so that leads High Mate with a total of 14 points and Cosmic Angels with 6. Now we go back to the Blue Goddesses block. We have God's Eye, Lady C, and Hina taking on Neo Genesis, Suzuki, and Starlight Kid. So, of course, certain factors will play out in this one. Of course, we have Lady C, who's a bit more taller and, of course, a bit stronger with either the chokeslam or the giant swing. Hina, well, we know she will get there eventually, but it was, in fact, Zuz, Starlight Kid with a moonsault on Lady C, and just like that, it was over, leaving them with a total of 11 points, while Lady C and Hina remain at 4. Now we jump into the Red Goddesses block. We have Psych Queen, members of Hate consistent of Sayaka Mitani and Konami, taking on O2 Line, Miyu Amasaki and Azumi. Now, of course, it's no secret. I'm sure Amasaki and Azumi will love nothing more to get a little payback on Kamitani for the way she betrayed the memory of Queen's Quest. Of course, Azumi questions herself a lot about her. So, of course, Kamitani probably doesn't give a damn long as she gets what she wants. But unfortunately, this match ended in a time limit draw after 20 minutes, leaving both teams to get each a point. So that leaves up to 7. Now back to the Blue Goddesses. We have Hate Supreme, Tekla and Momo Watanabe, taking on Wingori, Sayaka Mitani, and and Hanan. Of course, this was one of the toughest matches you ever get to see because, of course, when it comes to Tekla and Momo, these guys like to do dirty tricks as possible. They are determined to win this tournament at any cost. But however, this match ended in a countout, all thanks to Hanan, who was able to get back in the ring when the countdown began, and just like that, they win their next 2 points with a total of 9, while Momo and Tekla remained at 9 still. However, Tekla was not taking this too lightly. You know, the old saying is, you do not like a goddamn winner. And that's exactly how it was. Tekla felt it should have been her picking up the win, but it did not. So, just like that, it was over. Now we end up with our main event. Back to the Red Goddesses match. We have BM 2 line, consistent with the other Hate members, Raka and Natsuko Tora taking on God's Eyes, Saki Kashima, and Shuri. Now, it's no secret that Kashima, she's all business in this match in every way possible because, as you know, she hasn't forgotten the betrayal that, of course, Raka and Natsuko Tora and the rest of certain members from Hate that turned their backs on her. That kind of plays out in a way, but of course, when it comes to Hate, they like to get involved, and that's exactly what happened because Konami, who continues her feud with Shuri, interfered, and this allowed for Natsuko Tora to pick up the win by applying a Swanton bomb, and just like that, it was over. But during the post match promo, of course, while BMI 2000 won this tournament, Highmate showed up, so did Wingori, and of course, Zuzu and Starlight Kid. So basically, that's a little interesting story that we're going to see. So we'll see where that leads right there. So for now, we'll end things here with Stardom and move on with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, day 10 of World Tag League by New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we're only focusing on B block matches only. So let's begin. Our first match, we have just 4 guys consisting of Taka Michinoku and Taichi, consisting of 2/3 of our current never openweight 6-man tag team champions, Bolton Oleg and Toru Yano. So that kind of plays out pretty well as well. Now, however, of course, Taka and Taichi have been unable to proceed any further, so most likely they could be out down the road. But it was, of course, Bolton Oleg who picked up the win when he applied the kamikaze onto Taka, and just like that, it was done. They earned their next 2 points. Our next match, we have the Natural Classics with Stevie and his brother Tomo. Well, they had to deal with the biggest dirtbags on the planet, the House of Torturers, or who I like to call the House of Morons, Ren Narita and Evil. Now, of course, when it comes to these jerk monkeys, they always have ways to cheat. When it comes to Dick getting involved, that's exactly what happens. But of course, we did see a moment where, of course, the Natural Classics and Narita and Evil gave each other low blows, all 4 of them. So it's like, what the hell just happened? I mean, you would think it would play out pretty well, but nope, it did not. Apparently, another thing happened, all thanks to effing Dick, who I wish someone kicks him in the dick, and he throws in some white powder on the face of Tomo, and just like that, there was the double cross by that smirk face of a jerk Ren Narita, and just like that, it was over, getting their 2 points. The last thing I think New Japan fans want is to see these jerk monkeys win this tournament. Someone needs to shut them down once and for all. Now, our next match, we have Yado and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on LIJ's Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito. Now, some people would probably think just by watching this, you would think, okay, LIJ has this in the map. Normally, I would agree with you guys. But I was surprised how this match went on. I wasn't expecting the unexpected. Somehow, Yado and Tanahashi were able to overcome it when Tanahashi applied a high five flow onto Hiromu, and just like that, It was over. They get the next 2 points. And I think many people question. They did not expect Tanahashi and Yado to be involved in this tournament, but they're in it. I don't think it matters whether they win or lose. I think it matters that they're here and they're going to give it their all as much as they possibly can, because you probably can guess. It's like, of course, we got two old men who know their time is almost up. It's like, it's now or never. Let's do it. But nonetheless, they pick up a good win. Now, our next match, well, these two guys, these two teams, well, they already met each other before because, ironically, they had a tag team title match against each other not too long ago. Former IWGP Tag Team Champions Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols of TMDK, they faced against the team that they lost the tag team titles to, United Empire's Hinari and Great-O-Khan. Now, of course, if Haste and Nichols were able to pick up a win, they could actually catch another opportunity of the tag team titles. But of course, Hinari and Great-O-Khan are determined to proceed no matter what at any cost. And you would expect. But however, it was the Imperial drop on Haste that allowed for Hinari to pick up the win, and just like that, it was over. So we'll see how far we progress. I'm not sure when we'll get the next, of course, New Japan event, but we will follow that as soon as possible. But uh, we'll leave things as it is. As I said before, there are new news updates. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we do have more with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just looked it up. I think we are going to do maybe just a block matches on that. I'm not sure because there are certain times they will mix it up for both, but that hasn't happened just yet. But we will see. I haven't decided what else I'm going to do. I'm considering catching up with Marvelous. I haven't catch up with those just recently yet. I'm already far too along with All Japan, so that's out of the picture. I'm considering doing the last two Pro Wrestling Noah events with the Monday Magic Autumn. It's only two of them, the episode 4 and the finale. So we'll see what happens about that. So I may do those possibly Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we will see. But for now, we'll leave things as it is and move forward. But until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day.